Welcome back to the third episode of this motor build. I haven't had the motor housing back yet from welding. I'm getting it tomorrow. So I thought I'd do a quick episode about a secondary lithium-ion battery pack that I'm building for the boat as well. It's built out of 840 lithium-ion 18650 batteries that I have recycled from old laptop batteries. So this episode is a little bit how this is all coming together and my thought process. So this is the secondary battery pack that I will be using when I'm testing the motors. And if they work, I'll probably use them on the boat as well. So it's a smaller secondary pack, and it's not the primary battery bank that I will drive the boat with. So what this is made up of is 840 lithium-ion 18650 batteries. And they look like this. So we have 28 packs with 30 batteries in each pack. So each of these setups then becomes a 14S, so 14 packs in series, and 30P, which is 30 batteries per pack. So the reason of having 14 packs is that when you put them in series, then the voltage increase for each step. So it brings me up to around 51, 52 volts. And as you know from previous episodes, we're running this boat on 48 volts. So that's the idea with that. So this is the Daly battery management system, BMS, which will make sure that the battery pack doesn't overcharge or over discharge, and also make sure that if there's any problems, it has safety features where it will shut itself down. This is a 15 amp parallel unit, which both of these have, and this is the one that makes sure that I can use them in parallel. And it's more related, if I understand it right, to the charging of these batteries to make sure that I don't overcharge one of them, because they will have one charging coming in at one point, and then that point of charging will make sure that both packs are charged together. Then we also have this little part here, which is an active balancer, which is making sure that each of these 14 packs will kind of balance each other out. So if I have a little bit too much power in one pack, it will then send that power to the pack that doesn't have enough power. The idea is that these packs will sit like this, 7 of them on each side, and once they're attached, the setup will be plus to minus, minus to plus, plus to minus, minus to plus, plus to minus, and all the way through, and that is the serial connection to bring it up to 52 volts. To get to that point, I need to design some isolating points here. So I then can use this cable between those 2 points on each side. And the cable has to at least withstand 250 amps, because that's potentially around 200 amps is what it could draw if that is what the motor would draw at any point, which I doubt, but just to be on the safe side, I'd rather be a little bit above than below. Another thing that I need to sort out is that these packs are a little bit flimsy, so I'm just going to print something that makes them a little bit more sturdy, and that's probably one of the next points I will do as well. So a quick overview of how to get these 18650 batteries out. The easiest way that I've found is to use a Dremel, and I just cut into this part here. There's no batteries behind here, so you can cut as deep as you like. But when you come to these parts here, and the side, you want to be a bit careful so you don't cut into the actual battery itself. So what we can do is a bit more careful on this one. When you come this far, you can just take a little screwdriver, pry it open, and then you will have the batteries on the inside. Remove that, and then get them out. At this point, you can start to kind of pry the batteries away from the terminals. So you can go like that and like that, and be careful when you do this because this is extremely sharp, so it's very easy to cut yourself. So when you've done that with all of the batteries, you can then get a razor blade or a Stanley knife, and the easiest way I've found is to just cut into the bottom, draw a line, and then what you can do is literally just peel it back up like this. When you pull this off, make sure you keep the little plastic protection ring you have here. And that is just to make sure that you have a little bit of cover between the plus and the minus, so you don't get a short. Once you have that, you can take a nicer looking sleeve. You can buy these on eBay or Amazon, and they're very cheap. And you can then put the battery in. Make sure you leave a couple of millimeters at the bottom here, and a little bit more at the top on the plus side. Put the ring back in again, and then you can use a normal heat gun. And that's your battery. And for extra measure, I always put on a piece of extra isolation between the plus and the minus at the top here. So I have 2 rings, and just squeeze that on. So that is the battery. It looks a bit cleaner and nicer. At this point, I am using a battery charger, which, let me plug that in, will allow me to charge the battery up to its full, discharge the battery and measure the milliamp, and then charge it again and see what my voltage is and what my milliamp is. And that will then help me to put the batteries into packs, where each of these 14 packs has the same milliamp total value. So these chargers, most of them has a mode that is called grading. So I'm going to put this in, and it's going to then start to charge it fully and then discharge it, and it's going to give me a value. So it will give me voltage and it will give me the milliamp, and I will write those 2 down so that I can use those values down the line again. In case you didn't know, these batteries are called 18650 because they are 18 millimeters in diameter and 65 long. So they could also be referred to as 18665, but I think they're more commonly known as 18650, which that extra 0 is just the naming convention to be able to cater for bigger batteries as well. So once I had 420 of these batteries graded, I can then put them into an Excel spreadsheet and output those values as a comma separated string. And that string I could then put into a program called Repacker. And Repacker will then divide those batteries into 14 equal sized packs, so that you have the same or as close to the same milliamps per pack, to make sure that the pack is as balanced as it can be from word go. So once you then have that information back, you can start putting each of these batteries into the pack related to the information you got back from Repacker. And what you then will end up with is 14 packs with very, very close milliamp total power on each of them. To keep these batteries topped up while I'm putting everything together, I also put this little charge device on, where I have the plus on this side going to a copper bar, and that is spaced just right, so I can put that on the top of the battery like this. And this is the opposite side, the minus. And these little battery connecting points you can also pick up from eBay, and same thing there. So when that's on, I then have a 10 amp lithium ion battery charger, which I just clip onto the sides, and I can make sure that all those 30 batteries in that battery pack is charged up to top. And that's about it. I think, as mentioned, the next thing I have to do is create these isolators so I can connect the packs together. I need to make these packs a little bit more sturdy because I'm not happy with how flimsy they are. So I need to start doing some CAD drawings for those parts. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Thank you for watching this third episode. If you have any questions, stick them in the comments and I'll answer as quickly as I can. Thank you to the people that subscribed from the last episode. If this is the first time you're watching this channel and you want to see more, then up here somewhere you will find the first episode about the motor build. And if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.